Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Welcome if you are new here. Hello, my name is Roxanne, also known as Bye Bun. I'm a mixed media artist, illustrator, and maker of things. Today I'm sitting down to have some fun. I have been saving this little palette of watercolors, which I will talk about in just a second here. I've been saving this for, I don't know, a day when I needed a little bit of inspiration. I needed some motivation to get creative. I've kind of been in summer mode over here, and I've been spending a lot of time at home with my kiddo. Been on a tailspin of redecorating my house and doing all sorts of things. I haven't felt particularly motivated, and I think it's just because it's the time of year and my schedule right now. I have not been motivated to sit down in my studio and actually get work done. I've been feeling a little low in the inspiration department as far as like working in my sketchbook, my art journals, etc. So I have been saving this for a long time for a day like today, or a period of art making like what I'm in right now, or lack thereof, to just be a little bit inspired, do something a little bit different, and play with something new and fun. I highly recommend this from time to time. If you have something in your studio, like get yourself like a new art supply, or maybe it's an art supply you haven't used in a long time, or it's something new you've been sort of saving. Break it out and start using it, because maybe it will be just the thing you need to kind of jumpstart your creativity and get some inspiration. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So let's talk about what this little tin is. This is a tin of handmade watercolors. This is a Eras Tour themed set of watercolors. It is from LeahAmberBairArt. It's really cute because it comes with, this is the little note that she included in my little package there, but it's really cute because it also comes with a little watercolor paper, like coloring page, like zine of Eras Tour stuff, which I just think is so cute, just for you to kind of test your watercolors out. Such a clever idea. I absolutely love this. But yeah, LeahAmber, I will put her link to her shop down below, to her Etsy shop. I'm a big fan of her watercolors. You've probably heard me mention it before. A number of my favorite colors that I use that are in sort of my custom palette that I put together are from other sets of hers, or from colors that she has sent me. So it's a brand, because that's kind of what it is. I love her handmade watercolors. I think they're fabulous, and I always end up falling in love with specific colors that end up making their way into my main watercolor palette that I use all the time. So I already know I'm gonna love this. I will also say that Leah actually gifted me this set ages ago, when I was fangirling over it on her Instagram. So she sent me this, and I haven't opened it since then. So I've really been saving it for a long time. But I did just look at her Etsy shop. She does still have some Eras colors up there in her shop. So again, I'll put links to that down below. But yeah, it's been sitting in my studio and it's been jostled around quite a bit. Again, she sent me this such a long time ago. So I'm excited to finally kind of break into it. But that said, some things have been jostled around a bit because, again, it's just been sort of in my studio. So what's really fun about this is that we're looking at 12 different colors, each color inspired by basically a different era. I am, in fact, a Swiftie. I'm a late in life Swiftie, believe it or not. What cemented me becoming a Swiftie was actually going to the Eras Tour by myself. That's another story for another day. Actually, that vlog is up on Patreon if you want to experience that. But what I want to do, though, is get all these opened up and situated in this tin a little bit better, but also do some swatches in my larger Strathmore mixed media sketchbook, which is my favorite, the softcover one, and then maybe do some illustrating. I don't know. We'll see what kind of shakes out. The background noises you're hearing, by the way, are my air conditioning turning on and my dog snoring like crazy. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go ahead and open these up, and we'll do some swatching in just a second. Okay, so how cute is this? I got everything all unwrapped and organized in this little tin here. Pro tip, if you want to stick your watercolor pans to the bottom of a tin, whether it's a mid tin or something like this, I use a little bit of a kneaded eraser, just like a little ball of it, stick it on the bottom and stick it in there. You can move stuff around very easily. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have some favorites out of this. I can already tell there's a couple here that are already catching my eye that will most likely make their way into my main palette. So I definitely want the flexibility of being able to remove them and move them all around. All right, let's do some preliminary swatches here. I have my sketchbook ready to go, and a nice big fluffy watercolor brush, and let's take a look. Just looking at a few of these opened up, I'm really intrigued by this T-Swift sort of green color, which, funny enough, I'm currently painting the ceiling of my kitchen this color. I love the folklore, tortured poets department, this other tortured poets department here, this Evermore color. I tend to really love the neutral sort of tones that Leah does. Like I have a gray of hers that I really love. I have this sort of like bone ivory kind of color that I really love from other sets that I've sort of, you know, taken apart. I think her, as far as her handmade watercolors, the neutral colors tend to be my favorite. But let's see if we discover some other new favorites among the mix here. Okay, here is T Swift. And I may need to bring you in a little bit closer here so you can see what's going on. Oh, that's pretty. It's like a really nice kind of sage spring green vibe. That's really pretty. Let me bring you in a little bit closer for this. Okay, next is Fearless, which is this kind of like yellow ochre kind of color, but a little bit more toned down. That's really pretty. Ooh, look at that. Wow. Okay. I like that color a lot. Okay. This is Speak Now. It is funny, these earlier Taylor Swift albums I'm not as familiar with. Ooh, okay, that's pretty. Let's check out Red. I'm always looking for good reds in watercolor. Ooh, that's a good one. Ooh, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. It's more of like a brick sort of red, I would say, with kind of like a mahogany kind of undertone to it. Okay, this is 1989. Oh, wow. Okay, really pretty, like sky blue. It's giving Pixar blue vibes. Okay, here is Reputation. I forgot to note that I was excited about this one too. Dante is snoring in the background. Ooh, that's pretty. It's like a deep gray. I would say it leans more as like a warmer gray than, say, a cool one. Here is Lover, which is like a bubblegum pink sort of vibe. That's pretty too. Wow, what a range of colors in this set. It's pretty wild. Okay, this is Folklore. Hoping I don't hit the red pan that is situated right next to it. Oh, wow, okay. I wasn't sure how much of this you'd really be able to see, but it is like a really light gray. You can kind of see it there. That's pretty. Okay, here is Evermore. I'm very intrigued by this color. Let's see what this is all about. I might have too much water going on there. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, that's a nice neutral tone. You know what, as this dries down, I'm really liking this yellow. Really liking the yellow. And this is so bright too. These three here, I'm actually really liking. And even as this pink dries down, I'm liking the pink too. Okay, next is Midnights. You have to keep in mind too, this is paint that's been just sitting in my studio for easily a year. Maybe even longer than that. Leah, if you're watching, I'm so sorry it took me forever to even open this. But that's pretty too. Okay, let's get into this next one. I did get some blue into this. I'm going to clean that off a little bit. Okay, next is Tortured Poets Department. We've got two Tortured Poets colors here. This is more of like a cream, a really light cream. Like an antique white, I'd say. You know what? I'm liking this as this dries down too. I don't know. There's just something about like once these colors dry down, I just love them so much. Okay, and then here is Tortured Poets Department, which looks like a black to me, but let's see. Yeah, that's, oh wow, that is beautiful. Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm liking this as this dries. That is darkening up a little bit as it dries down. Wow, what a fun range of colors. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a lot of fun. Okay, so now that I've swatched everything, I do want to put some of this into action here. So I'm gonna play now with some of these watercolors, either working on a sketch that I already have done, or maybe creating something new in this sketchbook. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I will let VoiceOver Bun take it from here. Hello everyone, VoiceOver Bun coming in hot to walk you through the last bit of this video here. Wow, the timing on this could not have been better. Little did I know that Taylor Swift was going to then announce her newest album, Life of a Showgirl, coming out in October. Cannot wait. October is going to be a great month this year. This fall season in general, I'm just really excited. There's a couple of things that I'm really looking forward to, especially now that it is basically fall, right? I mean, like, back to school is happening. We are on the verge of September. We're wrapping up summer. It feels really nice. So, of course, I decided to do these pumpkins, and you'll see me do them in a couple of different ways here. I was practicing with sort of just drawing them straight up with the watercolor, kind of playing with different color combos, because I really wanted to just try to exclusively use the watercolor that was in this set. Oh, and also with the perfect timing, because I'd been sitting on these watercolors for so long. Not only have I been sitting on these watercolors for so long, I've also been sitting on this footage for a while, which you guys haven't seen many YouTube videos from me over summer because I just was in mom mode, having a kiddo at home. Over the summer when school is out, it hits different. It hits different. So I really struggled doing a lot of work and being creative over the summer. I was creative in different ways, redecorating my house and building a Temple of Doom in my garage for my son's birthday. But, not much sketchbook time was really happening. So this was kind of me trying to dabble with some sketchbook work in the throes of summer here. So I really tried to stick with imagery that felt sort of comfortable for me and that I knew I could use a different sort of combination of these colors that was in this set. Now, of course, as I have said a number of times in this is the Eras watercolor set. Leah is working on a Life of a Showgirl set. Like, again, the timing on this could not be more crazy. So I don't know what is going to be in those colors. I'm assuming, or in that set rather, I'm assuming we're going to see some orange and some teal perhaps, maybe something sparkly, I hope. I don't know. But I will put links to her Etsy shop down below. Again, highly recommend. I love her colors, and you'll see there's a number of these in this palette that I just absolutely loved. I had those sort of pumpkins on one side or on one other page, because you'll see I'm kind of filling up space in this particular sketchbook that I'm working in. So I was kind of freehand drawing pumpkins with the paint directly, so I wasn't doing any sketching. And then I wanted to do one where it was maybe a little bit more detail oriented. So I was doing these blueberries because I really wanted to play with that light and dark blue that was in the set, because that light blue really took me by surprise by how pigmented it was and how vibrant it was when it dried down. I just really loved it. And I'll admit it's not a color that I use a lot in my work, but my gosh, this combination of just the dark blue pencil with this color on top of it, it was just so beautiful. I'm obsessed with this color. Like, how can I use more of this sky blue in my work? But I thought that it would pair well with that sort of Midnight's blue that's also in there. So it's the 1989 blue and the Midnight's blue together. And I just really, look at how pigmented that is. Like, even just watching this back, the opacity is crazy on this. But I wanted to play with something that was more detailed because those pumpkins are pretty big. And you'll see I come back around and I add some pencil on top of this. Now, I know a number of you guys are going to be like, well, you came back in and added a bunch of stuff on top of the watercolor, blah, 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 blah. But listen, this is how I use this material, how I use this medium in my day-to-day work. I use 1,000 things on top of each other. So when I want to do a test run of watercolor, I want to see how it reacts with a pen on top of it, or colored pencil on top of it, or a paint pen around the edges of it, because that is how I use it in my sketchbook. I had a blast doing these blueberries, and then while I was at it, I was like, ooh, I really want to play with this red color because, like I've said, I'm very picky / I have had a hard time finding reds that I really like, and this red was a good one. This is definitely going to get moved into my main sort of palette that I take everywhere. I was also really loving adding those like shadows to those berries. So yeah, I did these sort of red berries, which is this a thing that exists in real life? I don't know. I basically just did a red blueberry, but I thought it looked cool and I wanted to do some like leaves, and again, this is sort of stuff that I do all the time when I'm just kind of doodling. Like you guys have seen me do these leaves like 1,000 times, but creatively I was in a place where I just really needed something where I wasn't referencing anything. I was just drawing off the top of my brain, and that's what came about with this. It also paired really well with my red and blue pencil, just using that to come back through and do a bit of an outline. But look at how great those red berries are on the bottom. These are so fun with the shadow. Great little space filler, great little way to test out watercolor because it's also just a sphere. So you're able to kind of play with value across, a round shape, which is really fun. Of course, coming in with my Artex acrylic paint markers. You guys know I'm obsessed with these, just to add a bit of a background because why not? I wanted to sort of fill it in. And I was playing around with, on one part of it, having sort of the background nice and solid. And then other parts where I just came in and kind of just gave it like a more detailed, fine-tuned sort of outline situation, adding some little wonky stars because I wanted it to feel like a completed sort of spread. So that's what's kind of going on there. What else is there to say? I just had so much fun with this. Even coming back to these pumpkins because I liked how the pencil laid on top of those blueberries and the red berries so much that I decided to do the same thing with the pumpkins, but I gave them an outline first. So I was trying to pair like a warm acrylic marker with a cool pumpkin and vice versa. So that's why you kind of see like the pink with the green, and then sort of like inverted on the two. And you can see me sort of trying to decide what colors I was going to do. And I wanted to have fun and really make these like, at first I was going to do very like pastel-y looking pumpkins because that's kind of the vibe that's going on here. But you'll see as I started to really play and layer pencil on top of it, it became really fun. And I just was allowing myself to be very messy and loose with it. And actually these first little 2 mini pumpkins, I'm so glad that I did this. Originally I thought too that I was going to give them a super detailed black outline. But I was like, you know what? Let me test run it on these mini pumpkins first. And I'm so glad I did because I ended up just sticking with pencil on the larger pumpkins. And I think it turned out so much better. Like I was able to add so much more texture and be way more playful with it versus this sort of outline look, which look, there's not to say there's anything wrong with this sort of outline vibe going on here, but it just is a different sort of look. So I'm happy with how I ended up kind of doing things on the larger pumpkins, which you'll see. And I really did kind of try to curate different color combos to really make that watercolor pop. And although I'm coming in and layering, pencil in here, I would not have been able to achieve this look without the watercolor underneath because I'm not doing a full coat, a full coverage of pencil. I'm really just kind of adding little scribbles and dashes in areas where there's sort of shading or where maybe I'd be coming in and doing sort of outlining, but I'm keeping it very loose. I tried to grab color families that were already existing in the pumpkin, and then I was trying to grab sort of like maybe not like a direct contrasting color, but another kind of fun color that I could add on top to kind of just beef up the texture of things. And I thought this was really fun. I had a good time with this. I kind of want to do more illustrations like this. I don't know, maybe thinking about whatever fall or October art challenge I end up doing around the bend here. Maybe that's what I want to play around with because so often I just default to a black brush pen and I don't do enough of this sort of thing where it's just really loose and fun. And again, being in a place where I wasn't making a lot of art, and I'm still kind of in that place. I'm just now transitioning back into being in my studio, working more regularly. This summer was a big learning curve for me, and my patrons have heard me say this 1,000 times in videos, so I'm sorry. But I went into summer thinking like, oh, I can do it all. I can juggle all the things. I can be stay-at-home mom and do all the videos and keep, making the volume of art and content that I make during, when school is in session. And that just frankly was not the case. So it was a good learning experience for me. Next summer, I really need to prepare with videos already done, pre-scheduled, or accept that, maybe on YouTube, I have a summer schedule, because this year I've been really proud of myself. I have managed to put up on average 2 videos a week, which was my goal kind of going into 2025, but that was just not feasible for me over summer. So maybe that's something that I have to accept, that maybe I have sort of like a summer YouTube schedule, and then I kind of can return back to my more frequent posting in fall or when school's back in session. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm hoping. That said, I do have lots of videos to edit for you. This one included. Again, I was working on this in July, I think, just slowly chipping away at it. And even these pumpkins, I did like the watercolor portions, and I just left my sketchbook open on my desk, and I would sort of come back and pop in and add pencil sort of detail at random times. So this was definitely not all done in one sitting, although I could have easily done this in one setting for sure, but just my current bandwidth and time. But I have a couple of videos lined up for you guys. I have another reading vlog that I filmed over summer that I need to edit and get up. It's missing an outro clip, but I'll deal with that later. I got a reading vlog. I also really want to do a big happy planner check-in with you guys, and I haven't filmed it yet, so let me know if that's something that you want to see. But July was my 1-year mark of working in my happy planner, and I just did a huge archive update, which that video is up on Patreon if you want to see how I archive my happy planner situation. But I thought it might be fun to kind of give you like a little bit of like a real-time flip through of how my planner has shaped up, how I'm using it currently, how it's evolved over the past year of sort of me ditching my Hobonichi and making the full plunge into a happy planner. But I haven't filmed that yet. So let me know if that's something that you want to see. I can film that next week when school is back in session. Oh my gosh, I'm like counting down. So excited. I'm ready for a pumpkin spice latte. I know that's basic, but I don't care. It brings me joy. Anywho, I don't think there's much else to say here other than I'm just really happy with how these little pumpkins turned out. I think they're really cute. I am tempted to scan them and offer them maybe as a digital download somewhere. Maybe I'll just put them up on Patreon, like for free, and anyone can just go grab them. Let me know if that's something you want as well. Just tell me. Just talk to me about all the things in the comments down below. Which, speaking of the comments, if you made it to this part of the video, please leave a pumpkin for me down below so that I know you're a real one and you watched it to the end. Stay tuned for more videos as sort of my life regains a routine and I'm back into a schedule. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, consider subscribing. I put up a new video often. I put up new videos often, okay? So consider subscribing, like this video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!